I'm so sorry, ma'am. I know you need this medicine, but it looks like it's not covered by your insurance.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to deny that one.
Wait, who are you?
I'm your insurance company's pharmacy benefit manager. I get paid based on the price of a medicine, and I don't make as much money off this one.
No one should stand between you and your medicine. Visit phrma.org/middleman to learn more. Paid for by Pharma.
Hey, small business leaders. JustWorks gives you peace of mind knowing that payroll will run smoothly, your team has access to benefits that fit their needs and fit your budget, and your business is getting the support it needs, always. Take a look at JustWorks transparent pricing by visiting justworks.com/pricing. That's justworks.com/pricing for details.
This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 2375. Who is eligible for an FHA loan? By Andrew of DollarAfterDollar.com. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. For now, let's get right to it as we optimize your life. Who is eligible for an FHA loan? By Andrew of DollarAfterDollar.com. If you're in the market for your first home, an FHA loan may be on your radar. It's an excellent option if you don't want to put a massive down payment on your mortgage. Who is eligible for an FHA loan? An FHA loan is a type of mortgage that's insured by the Federal Housing Administration. This type of loan allows the borrower to finance their home with a minimum down payment of 3.5%. An FHA home loan is especially popular among those who are looking to purchase their first home. In order for a person to be eligible for an FHA loan, the borrower has to meet specific lending guidelines. These requirements are as follows. The borrower must have a FICO score of between 500 and 579 and 10% down, or a FICO score of 580 or higher and 3.5% down. Employment history for the past 2 years must be verifiable. Debt-to-income ratio, including the mortgage, of less than 43% of the person's gross monthly income. No bankruptcies over the period of the last 2 years, no foreclosures for the past 3 years, and the property needs to be used as the primary residence of the homebuyer. Do FHA loans have income limits? There are no income requirements or limitations for getting the FHA loan. When it comes to the minimum amount that's required, the regulations of the FHA loan are more focused on the person's ability to afford the loan and the person's debt-to-income ratio, their job, income verification, repayment history on financial obligations, and the dollar amount of the applicant's gross income. This means that the FHA loan rules dictate that it's not impossible to earn too much in order to get an FHA loan. These loans are for any qualified borrower and not just those applicants who are not able to afford conventional home loans. Since there's no income ceiling, the borrower does not have to worry about the income limitations of an FHA loan. What disqualifies a house from an FHA loan? While it's easy for applicants to qualify for an FHA loan, there are some issues that may be flagged during the initial FHA approval. For instance, a home that's too expensive will not qualify for an FHA loan. This is because the annual limitations that are established by HUD vary by area and the number of units. The FHA is only able to insure up to that limit. In other words, an expensive home with a 3.5% standard down payment could require a loan amount that exceeds the limit. Also, the following are some of the issues that may be flagged during the FHA approval that can disqualify the home for an FHA loan. Houses built before 1978 with peeling paint, houses with bedrooms without windows or a secondary exit point, safety-related concerns, issues with the property's electrical system, installed electrical or plumbing systems, a leaking, damaged, or rotting roof, and water that's standing in the basement or anywhere else in the house. It's important to note that these are not the only issues that may be flagged during the FHA approval of the property, but rather some of the most common issues that are normally flagged during the FHA approval. Note, FHA loans are not for vacation properties or investment homes. Another issue that may be flagged is if it's a condo and as a result, not on the approved list. What is the downside of an FHA loan? While there are many benefits of getting an FHA loan, there are also some downsides, some of which may make it a bad option for some people, which is why it's important for you to know what you're getting into. Number 1, mortgage insurance premiums. The first downside of FHA loans for many borrowers is the high MIP. Borrowers have to make an upfront payment of 1.75% of the loan amount along with the annual premium, which amounts to 0.85% of the loan. Number 2, limitations. Another disadvantage of getting an FHA loan is the limitation of how much an applicant is able to borrow. These limitations are increasing in all areas of the FHA loan, which does not offer the freedom that borrowers expect when getting an FHA home loan. That being said, the number of limitations is still lower as compared to conventional home loans. Number 3, varied FHA loan. The limit of the FHA loan varies depending on the location of the property, as well as the city and state, which can result in lower or higher rates for the FHA home loan. And number 4, minimum property standards. Another downside of getting an FHA home loan are the minimum property standards. This may keep a borrower from being able to purchase the home that they want. The minimum property standards that are enacted by the FHA home loan is meant to provide protection to the borrower from purchasing any property that's in disrepair and could be dangerous to live in. On the other hand, these limitations tend to be burdensome to some borrowers, especially if they're looking to get a loan to purchase a home that does not meet the FHA's minimum property standards. This also means that borrowers cannot take a small FHA loan to buy a fixer-upper and carry out repairs later. How long do you have to be at your job to qualify for an FHA loan? One of the questions that borrowers ask when it comes to an FHA home loan is, how long do I have to be at a job to qualify for the FHA loan? According to the FHA guidelines, all borrowers need to show a work history of at least 2 years. This can be in any given field or industry, but needs to be 2 years immediately prior to filing your application for the FHA loan. It's also possible for a borrower to qualify if they've worked in a field for less than 2 years, as long as they show any development in that specific field. You just listened to the post titled, "Who is Eligible for an FHA Loan?" by Andrew of DollarAfterDollar.com.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. I know you need this medicine, but it looks like it's not covered by your insurance.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to deny that one.
Wait, who are you?
I'm your insurance company's pharmacy benefit manager. I get paid based on the price of a medicine, and I don't make as much money off this one.
No one should stand between you and your medicine. Visit phrma.org/middleman to learn more. Paid for by Pharma.
Hey, small business leaders. JustWorks gives you peace of mind knowing that payroll will run smoothly, your team has access to benefits that fit their needs and fit your budget, and your business is getting the support it needs, always. Take a look at JustWorks transparent pricing by visiting justworks.com/pricing. That's justworks.com/pricing for details.
Well, I can see the appeal of an FHA loan for someone with lower credit. Typically, if you have better credit, a conventional loan is preferred. Your interest rate may be lower with an FHA loan, but your APR, which is the annual cost of the loan, can sometimes be higher than conventional loans due to the mortgage insurance premiums. Now, in some ways, this is similar to private mortgage insurance, or PMI, which applies to conventional loans when borrowers don't put down at least 20% of a home's purchase price at closing. But the difference is that PMI can be canceled eventually once homeowners gain enough equity in their home. FHA mortgage insurance premiums generally can't be canceled. The decision to buy a home is a very personal decision, but I see a ton of people do it before they're financially ready. If you aren't able to save the 20% down payment and build the credit needed for a conventional loan, it's likely you also aren't financially ready to deal with the true costs of homeownership. You need really strong cash reserves to deal with major repairs and maintenance, which is why the American dream of owning a home turns into such a nightmare for many people. I'm really glad that homeownership was the last thing I decided to do. First, I got out of high-interest consumer debt, and then I saved a strong emergency fund and got a really good head start on my retirement investments. I also bought a very small house well below my means. While I don't look at my house as an investment, it's been a lifestyle decision that brings me joy. And because I waited until I was financially ready, my house is not a source of financial stress. And that's another edition of Optimal Finance Daily. Thanks for being here today and making another episode possible. And be sure to come back tomorrow for more, where your optimal life awaits.